we're voice actors.
Yeah, we're talking
We're
voiceover, and
talking
Anthony's tan.
voiceovers.
He's so tan right now.
I tan. So this weekend, my son and I, we have a local flea market,
Oh, fun.
and we had my son's a fisherman, and he loves to
Oh,
fish, and he
good
came
for him. I love
into
to fish.
some different fishing gear from a friend, and
Mhm.
so we went to the flea market, and we were doing some stuff there, so we had a lot of fun, and I happened to pick the table that was directly in the sunlight, so I got some sun.
You tanned. I'm proud of you because, I just burn.
Oh, I'm a
Burn first.
tanner. I know.
Yeah,
I think that's the Italian.
it
I
is.
have
It
like
is, but,
olive
you
skin.
would think I was like that when I was a kid. Now I stay out of the sun so much, I just burn
Oh
the
yeah,
minute I
yeah.
touch it.
No, I don't. Hi everyone.
Dang.
We are excited to be here.
Yeah.
This
We can
so
talk
you
voiceover, we
know,
can talk fishing.
yeah, yeah, who knows what we're going to talk about. So we are just so you know, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. As always, put a comment in the
Yeah.
chat. If you are interested, tell us where you're from, as well as any questions you might have, all that jazz. We'd love to answer them for you. So
For sure.
today we are continuing our topic on AI.
Yep, AI week.
Yes, it is AI week.
Tis
And
timely.
I think so. I think so.
Mhm.
I think everyone can at least admit that no matter where you turn, there's something about AI. There's something going on with AI. AI's in the
Mhm.
news everywhere.
Mhm.
There's somebody hounding us to take our voices for
Mhm.
AI. So it is it is quickly becoming within 2 years or less. Just become such a humongous just topic
Yeah.
issue out there. And the thing with technology, right, is it's not like it's gonna go away.
No. No. And
So
here's the thing, and I do find this to be a fascinating part of the whole AI discussion is that it's almost I feel like sometimes people think it just happened, like a flip got switched,
mm,
a switch got flipped somewhere in tech land, and people went boom AI.
really good point.
It's been around for like a long time. It's not new. It's not new.
Text to
Um,
voice is not new.
no, text to speech is not
Right, right,
new.
right. Exactly.
If we think about it, and it's funny, I think it's just that terminology is so new. AI, artificial
Yes.
intelligence, that's
Yes.
really the thing.
Right.
And that's what has people freaked out by it. But like
Right.
Siri has been around for how long?
That is true.
I mean, wasn't it like the iPhone 3 or 4 where they introduced Siri? Yeah.
It's got to be at this point, right? At least 15, 20 years, or at
Yeah.
least so.
Alexa has been around
Yeah.
for what seems like forever
Alexa,
now.
I remember when Alexa came out,
Yeah.
everybody was, it was our shopping will change forever, or no one's
Mhm.
ever going to go to a store again. They're just going to order everything through Alexa.
Right?
That was
And it's
uh,
trippy because you think about it now and you go for as much as people are weirded out by this and as much as it's such a like a hot topic,
mhm.
there's a whole generation of kids who have never not known some of these techs already. Like
Oh, yeah.
your daughter's how old? She like
So she's 10,
oh, there you go.
and it's just not,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It
Here you
never, she has never
mm,
been in a world without without.
yeah.
I don't even know. I can't remember when TikTok came on the scene,
Mm,
but like as her older, she's had an iPad. She's never known anything
yeah.
like us.
Yeah. She has had an like an automated assistant basically since
Yeah.
the day she was born.
And you know what? That's so interesting you brought that up, because that's how she searches for most of her stuff. She'll just say, "Hey Siri,
Mhm.
find me this video," or "Hey Siri, find me this." Like that's actually how
Wow.
she
Yes.
searches.
Yes, because why wouldn't you do it
Right.
smarter?
right?
right? Like, why wouldn't you? Yeah, like, absolutely.
I mean, whenever I
Um,
do it, I'm like, "Ooh, I get
yeah,
are
yeah,
you
for
gonna
sure.
respond?" You know, and I
Yeah,
always wanna say something cheeky,
I do.
like,
I
"What do
do.
you say if I say
Yeah,
this?"
I
You
tell
know?
her to shut up all the time. I'm like, "Leave me alone." Like, even the
Uh,
fact that I call it a
a
her,
her,
like, that
right?
gives you an idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that stuff's been around forever. I feel like emojis and emoticons and
Yes.
memojis
Yes.
and, like, all of
And
that
and and
stuff.
also and also what's been around since at least and probably before, but at least since I started doing voiceover in 2017 has been automatic engineering for audio. So
Yes.
uploading to websites were around. I remember when I first started, people who were struggling doing their own editing and mastering.
Mhm.
There was websites where you just upload it,
Yeah.
it reads it for you and determines what needs to be done, and then it just does the file for you and sends it back. All right, that was back in
Mhm.
2017 when I started in
Yes.
voiceover.
Technically technically, companies like Isotope and things like RX in the post-production world,
Hmm.
same thing. It's an artificial intelligence algorithm that allows some of those, detectors
Yes,
to
Adobe.
exist. Yeah.
Adobe uses it quite a bit when we auto heal and we heal things in our audio. That's how it
Yes.
heals it.
And auto heal is like
I
the
mean,
greatest
it's the
tool
greatest thing ever.
ever,
Yes, yes,
right?
yeah,
I mean, and speaking of Adobe, right, Photoshop, I mean, it's just like we've used all these alternate names for so long. Like photoshopping has become a verb and an adjective, which is crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Um it, like yeah, it's not new, guys. It's not new. Like everybody
No.
needs to take a step back and like breathe. But
Hmm.
also it's just now I think the tech has come far enough
Right.
that yeah, companies are starting to see other applications and other ways of starting to utilize it. And some of them are great.
Well, and I think that's what is new, or what's newer, is these companies, right? These companies taking the technology and then, going to new markets with them, the individual companies, even though they've been out there, but using this AI, I think it's so misleading because none of this stuff really is AI.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Because think about it, if it were artificial intelligence, right, at the heart of it is supposed to mean, or we think it to mean, that it thinks on its own. Okay, it does not use us to think on its own.
Oh,
However, if you think of everything that AI does, especially from our part, we are the input. We are still putting it in. It's taking what we do, and then it is reshuffling it.
yes.
All right, based off a series of algorithms that we've given it. I always say if AI really becomes, that's when Sarah Connor, and we need to find Sarah Connor, and we need to because then it starts determining on its own. Like I would tell people, when like is AI buying? Like, is AI coming to us and buying our voiceovers, or is it people? It's
Mm,
not AI.
mm,
It's not the AI. Like, it's an interesting. I guess you could make
no.
an argument about which one, but
Well, no,
do you see what I'm saying though?
very astute because so one of the best explanations I've heard for what we call open source AI, right? Because that's the era we're in. It's open source AI. Justin Bateman's sister, right? From the 80s,
Right.
basically is how I think of her. So Justine Bateman, there's a video, you can look it up on YouTube, of her talking about AI at an event. She's a big champion for, Hollywood and proper use of AI. And she talks about open source and she says it's basically a blender. You have a blender, right? You're making a smoothie, you're putting things into the blender and then you turn it on. All of the
Hmm.
ingredients and everything that you put into it is
Hmm.
now a part of this blend that you've made. So yes, there it is. It's
Hmm.
us feeding it.
Well, and you have to think. Here's
Mm,
another example. A lot of people, like for example, on ChatGPT,
mm,
and using for example, let's say you use it to write something. All
yes.
right. I remember when I thought it was one of the coolest things back in, I can't remember, it was 2015 or 14. There was this program that you would go on and you would type in some keywords and stuff, and it would begin to write a blog post for you. This stuff has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
I think what's one thing that has changed is is its ability to have to access so much information. Like the ability, I mean, the access was always available to it, but I don't think that technology was around enough to, be able to search the entire internet and then be able to use, you know what I mean, in that kind of fashion that quickly
for
and
sure.
XYZ. So that has, yes, so that definitely has changed. You know what I mean, which makes it now usable because it's faster,
Yes,
right?
but it's not always accurate. I mean,
No,
that's
it's
the
not.
thing we
It
see.
is not
Like,
always
okay,
accurate.
so something you and I have talked about a lot. So Riverside, which is the program that we use to go live, and it
Yes.
has a lot of really cool features. But like at the end of any episode or daily, Riverside takes it upon itself to make clips
Right.
and to make like all these little like here, use this for promotional.
Hmm.
But then a lot of the times we watch it and we go, that's not usable.
Right, because it
Like
produces a
random.
lot, and we
Yeah.
don't use 90% of it. And
Right.
sometimes we will go in and find our own, like, well, we wanted the
Yeah.
one of our highest clips that we had was one that we went in and found because it was the wasn't that that was the butterfly
Oh, the
farts.
butterfly farts. Yeah, well, you can't argue with butterfly
You
farts.
can't argue with that. No.
But yeah, it's like it doesn't really know, it just
Right.
sorta guesses.
Right.
It guesses a lot. Now, is that gonna get better? Of course.
Can I tell you something funny though?
Mm.
It's on a side note. It and everybody watching, it like guesses 90-10% Gabby. So like it will take Gabby. So if it produces six, five out of the six are Gabby clips.
What the hell?
I think it doesn't like me, or I don't say anything worthwhile. I think that's what it is. No, I go in there and
Either
it's like,
that or
oh,
I just
Gabby,
don't
Gabby,
shut the
Gabby,
hell
Gabby.
up.
No, no, it's just funny. I'm always like, it doesn't like me. No, 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 I
Oh.
didn't say that.
Oh my
But no,
god,
no,
that's
I mean,
hilarious.
that's the whole thing, right? I mean, and what I'm starting to see too. I don't know if you started to see this, but recently I was talking to one of my students this morning about this. Is that what I'm starting to see now is people reaching out to voice actors and trying to hire them with like 11 labs, like they're it's the funniest thing, they're still want to work. It's like they're trying to use AI, but they need the voice actors who have done their AI voice with 11 labs to be the ones who are managing all of the changes, because it'll inevitably come full circle, because these people will realize, right, that they're going to have to do so much work anyways to try to get these voice systems to change. Like it was, I don't know if you've seen that,
That's
but I've started to see that more recently. They're
really
like,
funny.
we need a voice actor who has an 11 labs, but the voice actor, we need them to take their 11 labs and make the changes in order to, I mean, like, it's like, this is the most ridiculous
I
thing I've
mean,
ever heard.
so let's look at a couple of
We
questions.
do, we do
That's
have a question. We have
crazy.
a question. So
That's
Pete,
crazy to me. I don't even know what to say.
isn't that, I'm just, but I mean, that's because I've always said too, when you are going, like, people are going to come and they're going to want voiceovers and they get a voiceover. Well, if you go to a system, some of the systems allow you to change an inflection here, change it there. No, so can you imagine how much work that would you'd have to pay people? You know what I mean? To go through each thing and change an inflection, the way you speed up and slow down.
But
You know what I mean? Like it's just.
that right there, that is why, and I mean, okay, like I have inside knowledge on this because I was actually part of the casting of a
Mm,
couple of the variations of Siri throughout the globe.
mm,
Because Siri is not
mm,
one voice actor, okay? Like
right.
just when you go to your phone and there's like the option to select Siri in English and you have like five different choices,
Yeah.
now multiply that by every language spoken on the planet, okay? Every time Apple selects a new Siri, it is well into a six-figure job
Mm,
because that actor has to record
yeah.
syllables,
Oh
things
yeah.
that are nuts, not just words and phrases and numbers and letters, but like it is a months long project. Like people
Mm,
think like, oh, this is so cool. It's like, you get paid over 100 grand to be Siri. you spend 4 months
Mm.
locked inside of a studio
Oh
with
yeah.
a team
Oh yeah.
from Apple. And like you might like I liken it to, it's, yes, it's like winning the jackpot, but it's also like you just like you're on like one of the survival reality shows,
You're on
you know,
Survivor,
like you're
voiceover
locked.
Survivor.
Yeah, like you're locked in a house. You're on a you're remote. First of all, you're flown to wherever they are. Like you're, yeah, like they own you for like months and you can't
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. You can't share anything about it. You can't do
Mm-hmm.
any other work. You're like in a voiceover bunker for four or
Mm-mm-mm.
5 months while they do this. It's
Yeah. Yeah, it's
nuts.
crazy. All
Okay.
right, here we go. So Pete says, question: would you guys think sell your voice to AI if you had the full rights to it, and they pay you a percentage based off of how much it was used? Well, it's kind of like Siri,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I mean, that's kind of what is Siri. So, what do you think,
So,
Gabby?
okay, so let me, I mean, it's a Monday, so I got to make sure I'm absorbing all the things properly. Would you guys sell your voice to AI if you had the full rights
This is
to
what we
it,
were talking about on
and they gave
Friday.
you a
Remember,
percentage
Gabby?
based of how much it was used?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what we were
yeah, for
talking about on
sure.
Friday.
So, so yes. If I still completely owned the rights to my voice, and the usage of the AI was very specific or very limited to something like a Siri or an Alexa, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a that sort of a model,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I have no issue with doing that. Now, of course, we all know, and I do think this is fascinating. So the original voice of Siri, um, her name is
Oh yeah, that whole story,
escaping me
right?
right now. Dang it. I know
No,
her
I don't
name.
remember her name, but
Whatever.
I
It's
yeah.
such a Monday. Oh my God. So anyway, original voice of Siri still is, so she is not Siri, right? She hasn't been Siri for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still to this day is hired to do movies, is hired to do fake Siri. Like she is hired by other entities to be the voice of an AI and to represent Siri. It's crazy. Catherine Bennett, I think that's her name, Bennett, something
Okay.
Bennett. She's been everywhere. Like she has done so much stuff, plus the publicity, the press that she's gotten. It's wild.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
she was only able to come out and say that she was the voice of Siri after her contract was expired and they replaced her. That was the key. And that actually brought her, I think, more fame than being Siri in the first place.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It
No,
was amazing.
absolutely.
Um,
So I think for me, the answer would be I would have the same answer as Gabby. The one thing I've seen though about AI that I didn't like, and I think Gabby had that caveat would be the same is that if you had open because there are some places who are doing that now where they're
mhm,
going to voice actors and say, hey, listen, you can own the rights to it, you can control what you do with it, it's just a tool for you
mhm.
and you pay us for the tool.
Yes,
The problem I have with a lot of it though still is that some of these people are like they can use it and have you say anything.
correct.
And that's what I don't want. I want control over what it says. Right? Like
Correct.
I don't want them to
That
take my voice and say anything.
Yes, and there's the difference between the open source and everything else.
Right.
Like, I feel like if it's a controlled environment
Hmm.
for a device, for an application, for something that, I
Right.
mean, we all know this. We've all prompted Siri, like, we've all tried to poke the bear and get
Oh
Siri to
yeah.
say some off, out of pocket stuff. It won't.
Hmm.
Siri
Hmm.
is actually remarkably wholesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
And so,
yeah.
like, under that, yeah, I'm
Oh
fine
yeah.
with that.
Well, you know, and we've done a lot of things that really are kind of in that gray area. Like so for me, I've done a lot of nav stuff. And you might think, well, that's not AI, but the reality is they are
It is.
you are interacting with an interface, right? Some
Mhm.
digital interface that is responding using your recorded voice based
Yes.
off of prompts.
It's the same
So,
thing. Yeah.
it's I think I think the big thing that bothered everyone, right, was that this idea that people were taking our voices, One without permission. Okay, that's not okay. That's illegal. Thank goodness now. But
Mhm.
I always say, unfortunately, bad people are going to do bad things, right? So they're unfortunately, and that was from a lawyer we had, right? I mean, that
Mhm.
we had on our thing. But the point is that that's what really got people. And then people want to
Mhm.
use our stuff to train and to take it, and
Yes.
never,
Yes.
we don't know what it's being used for. That's what
Mhm.
scares everybody, and
Absolutely.
rightly so. Let's get
Yeah,
on with it.
here's
We
a
got.
follow-up question.
And do you guys think that that's going to be a trend in the future with voice actors getting paid that way?
I don't. No, I don't, because again, it's been around for a while. It's been around for a really long time. Like when I was in casting, we saw maybe a half a dozen of those sorts of projects every
Mm-hmm.
year, of some mass scale, some big, prompt-based type
Mm-hmm.
AI type thing. A lot of it was like phone systems, banking systems, again, it's the text, or the prompt based model. It's like when you call your bank now and it goes, just go ahead and talk to me. I can help you do whatever you want. And you speak to it like a
Exactly.
person. Same idea.
Exactly.
Um, there's tons of that, but still, I mean, even through all of my agents and all the casting directors I work with, we don't see too many of those projects. It's pretty
No,
sporadic.
and I think it goes back to what I said to briefly about, that voice actor trying to get hired, voice actor who had an 11 labs, and they were doing it. It makes, like, it becomes like ridiculous. What makes no sense to do it that way too. Like, just have the voice actor do it. You don't need to go through all of that stuff anyways. All right, so we got we got a couple more here. Will you animate the marching band pass part of last week's episode? We should definitely see. Well, here's the funny thing
Do
about
we
the
have to
anime. So when
acknowledge
we
that
did
that
the anime,
happened?
that was not that was out of our. It was just
Yeah, we
something that
didn't
it
do it.
offered, and it
Just
found the clip, and we're like, "Ooh, what is this?" We had never seen it before. So I don't know if we can animate it,
maybe.
but yeah, maybe we'll figure it. But yeah,
Really
that
funny.
was definitely a lot of fun. Pete says, are there any organizations or software that you see in the near future, even now, that protects voice actors from getting their voice stolen by AI?
No, I
No,
haven't seen that, but I will
no,
tell you something really funny.
no.
Oh shoot, we're already over time. It doesn't
Well,
matter. Uh, we have seen there are AI detector tools that are supposed to be able to tell you if a voice is legit or not, and this is crazy. Um, I've had voice actors tell me that their voice was run through those softwares and came back as AI, and I was like, "Shut the F up. What
well,
is happening?"
oh, I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
So on Find Away Voices, so if everyone know, Find Away Voices was recently split back from Spotify, and they
Mm,
joined another group. Well, anyways, they implemented one of these detectors to streamline stuff, right? Because
okay.
Audible's pushed the AI
Mhm,
stuff.
mhm.
But here's the point of the story. They had, when they launched it, everybody, even us or whatever was using it, put a voice to. They sent out like all of these things telling all these real voice actors that they were AI voices,
See what I mean?
and they were not. And everybody, like, I was like, I know this is not an AI voice. He's my friend. What are you? You guys are wrong. Whatever you're doing is wrong.
I suspect it's because the AI cannot tell the difference.
Hmm.
It's the digital processing. It's the
Yeah,
fact that we are using sophisticated audio recording
that's
software.
that's right.
We're not just some Joe Blow with an iPhone recording, an
Right.
Instagram video, because we're using things like Adobe Tech. We're mastering, we're normalizing, right? We're doing all of these things to our audio.
Hmm.
That's what the AI is detecting. It's picking that up and going, "Oh, that can't be human." But it is. So
Hmm.
yeah, wild.
Hmm. Well,
Um,
we are over our
we
time today, but that
are
was good with some great questions.
Let's talk
Yeah.
tomorrow more about training the beast and some of these training jobs and opportunities that
Mm,
we see, yeah,
mm.
circulating throughout the
Oh yeah.
voiceover
Oh
world.
yeah. They're out there. They continue.
Yep.
All right,
Later.
gang. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great Monday.
Good
Talk to you
night.
later. Bye.